Hi, and welcome to Healy Fit with your instructor, Jen. For more, please subscribe, like, or select notifications. Today, I have a yoga practice for you focusing on hip mobility. So come join me down onto the mat, starting in a child's pose position. Arms extended to the front edge, hips sitting back towards heels. Breathe across the upper and middle back. Feel the stretch all the way from your fingertips down to your tailbone. Inhale, lift up, walk the hands over to the right, sitting the hips back towards the heels, a little bit over to the left side of your mat. Go ahead, starting to move to the other side. Begin to inhale, lift up, and walk the hands in the other direction. Arms reaching out and over to the left, hips shifted slightly to the right. Feel the stretch along the outer edge of the body from shoulder all the way to the outer edge of the hip and glute. See if you can sink a little bit deeper with the next few breaths. And then slowly come back through center. Inhale up. Reaching the hands all the way up to the sky. Extend all the way from fingertips to chest. Elongate through the abdomen. And then slowly sweep your hands in towards center, placing the hands along the heart. Take a moment here to set your intention for your practice today. This could be something internal or external, where you hope or choose to focus your attention. And with that intention in mind, inhale the arms back up to the sky. Elevate your hips up from your heels, coming into kneeling. We're going to reach the right hand back, right into that crease above the glutes. Left hand up and extend, light backward bend. Now, anytime we go into a backward bend, you want your bandhas or binds to keep you safe. Tongue pushed to roof of mouth, navel to spine, pelvic floor pulled up and in. Left hand to right thigh, right hand around the back, light twist along the thoracic, along the middle back. One more deep breath on this side, and then let's rise up to kneeling. Reach the arms up to the sky. Light backward bend. And then we'll bring the left hand down to the hip, right hand up to the sky, and lean back just a little bit further. Good, feel the stretch along the front of the body from shoulder down to hip. Slowly bring yourself back down, and let's do a light twist along the thoracic, along the mid-back, looking over the back shoulder. Good, open along the chest, and stretch along the back. Let's come into all fours, walking the hands along the front edge of the mat. Slowly arch up into your cat, and then release down into your cow pose. Move with breath, allowing your body to pause anywhere you feel it may be needed. Good. As you arch up, tuck the tailbone in, tuck the chin towards the chest. As you arch down, lift the head, look through the eyebrows. Let's curl the toes underneath the heels. Lift the heel up towards the sky. Good, going at that left side first, and then tuck the knee in towards the nose. Good, as you exhale, thread navel towards spine, tuck knee towards nose, and then as you inhale, extend, press the heel up to the sky. Good, so similar movement as your cat to cow, but now moving in through the abdominals. let's bring that knee back down into hip circles. Good, so play around with your mobility. Just go as far as feels right for you, and then maybe try to test it going a little bit further each go round. Let's bring it the other direction. And now extend the leg all the way out with the opposite arm. So left leg, right arm into your bird dog position. Let's sweep the arm out to the side, the leg out to the side, and then come back into the center line. Do that a few more times. Reach the arm out to the side, kick the leg forward. Good, trying to keep height into the leg, trying to keep length into the arm all the way out to the toes, even as you reach to each side. On the next one, we'll release the leg down to the floor and thread the needle, reaching the right arm over to those left toes. Reach the left arm towards the front edge of the mat and feel the stretch. So you're kind of leaning a little bit towards the right side, opening into that right shoulder. Option left arm around the back, pivot, trying to open along that left shoulder in the front of the body, maybe even looking up towards the sky as you do so. Next breath, let's bring it back in towards center. Lift up into kneeling. Reach the arms up to the sky. And then we'll lean out towards that left leg. Good, so left arm to thigh, maybe all the way down to calf. Right arm up and over, looking under the arm towards the sky as you reach. Extend along the obliques. Extend along the outer hip. And now we're going to come down into a kneeling side plank or kneeling half moon. Good, so that's just foot up or foot down, whatever feels right for you. Now option, curl heel towards hip, reach hand towards heel. Maybe look down towards your bottom hand as you stretch along the hip crease into the quadricep. Awesome, let's come back into kneeling. Extend the arms back up to the sky. And let's go into an unsupported backward bend. Good, so even though we're unsupported, navel towards spine, tongue to roof of mouth. Coming back into all fours, let's go into another few rounds of cat to cow. Good, kind of resetting, refocusing. Arch, 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 arch. And then release the belly down towards the mat. Go ahead, move it whatever pace is suitable for you. You've got one more time. And then let's go ahead and lift that right leg up towards the sky. Going into that kneeling crunch. Go ahead, exhale, thread navel towards spine, knee towards nose. Inhale, kick the heel back up to the sky using the glute and hamstring. Good, awesome. Feel that strength along the front and then strength along the back of the body. Going into hip circles. Slowly drop the knee down towards the floor, open to the side, back up to the sky, and then back down. Awesome. Reverse direction. Sweeping out. Again, maybe each time you circle, you make the circles a little bit bigger. Just trying to extend that range of motion. Now extend the leg all the way out. Right leg, left arm, into your bird dog. Equal pressure, hand and knee. Reaching length from fingertips to toes. And now let's reach the arm and the leg out to the sides. And then return back center. Good. Extend out to the side, kicking as far as feels right for you. Bring it back into the center line. Reach, 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 reach. And then pull back through center. Awesome. Release the foot to the floor. Reach the hand towards the toes, stretching out that left shoulder. Reach the right arm forward. Sit the hips back as far as you like, so more into kind of a puppy pose like me, or maybe into more of a child's pose. Right arm reaches around the back as an option, reaching for the left hip. Getting a little bit more stretch into that right shoulder in the front as you stretch the left shoulder in the back. Coming back up through kneeling, slowly push the floor away. Reach the arms up to the sky. And then exhale, reach down to the right leg. Looking up under the arm, feel that stretch along the left oblique, the left outer edge of your abdominals. Reversing direction, take that left hand to the floor, bring the right hand up to the sky, maybe elevate the right leg. Coming into kneeling half moon. Option, tuck the right heel towards the hip, make a go for the top of the foot, open up along the thigh into the hip, looking down towards that left hand for more grounding effect. So kind of getting additional stability by looking down towards the floor. Slowly bring yourself back into all fours, but walk the hands maybe one step further forward. Curl the toes under the heels, float the knees up, and come into downward facing dog. And we're going to slowly release back into our kneeling, and then push the floor, lift the hips, extend along the backs of the thighs. Do that a few more times, coming from tabletop into downward dog. And then last time here, tabletop into downward facing dog. Hold, maybe pedal through the knees, walking your dog. Good. This is an awesome opportunity to check in with the back body, check in with the hips, with the glutes, maybe add some rotational movement, knee towards opposite side. Let's go ahead, take the left leg up towards the sky into your three-legged dog. Circle through the ankle a few times, and then change direction, circling the other way. Let's thread the knee through the hands, coming into pigeon pose. Good. Slide the right leg back behind you, bringing the hip towards the mat far as you can. Look up through the eyebrows towards the sky as you open up that front left hip. Now options, stay here, or as you bring the front foot parallel to the front edge of the mat, tuck the back knee in into more of a hurdler pose. You'll open up that hip a little bit more by walking the hands over towards the heel. So walking the hands over to the right side of the mat as you stretch the left hip. One more deep breath here, and then slowly bring yourself up into seated. Take the right leg from back behind you, grab hold of the foot and the knee, and circle through the ankle. Good, now take the foot as close to you as you like, maybe bringing it into the elbow crease or keeping it into the hands, and rock your baby side to side. Slowly take the foot, cross it over top of the left thigh, add in your pivot. Now this is an easier angle. Tuck the knee in, press knee and elbow against one another, and twist all the way to look over the back shoulder. One more deep breath, and then we'll move back into the front. Coming into fire log, knee towards heel, heel towards knee. Good, adjust as needed. You might find yourself like me where that top knee is kind of floating up from the top heel. Good. Inch your body as far forward as you feel comfortable going, and then maybe bring the hands around to the front. Just gentle pressure, encouraging your right hip to open up. Okay, now slowly transverse back to the back edge of your mat. You're going to step the right foot back, push the hands into the floor, left foot follows, coming into plank. Rise up onto toes, exhale down into chaturanga. Inhale, lift into cobra or up dog. Exhale, push, press, lift, come into downward facing dog, and again, walk your dog. Maybe the knees go to the opposite sides again, or you just walk center. Let's bring the right leg up to the sky this time, pushing the left foot firmly into the floor, into your three-legged dog. Circle through the ankle on the right side. Take those circles the other direction. And then slowly thread the knee through the thumbs, coming into your pigeon pose. Good. Elevate the posture, lengthen through the spine. Bring the crown of the head tall to the sky as you open up your front right hip. Moving from pigeon to hurdler, tuck the back knee in, bring the front thigh parallel, hinge forward as far as you feel comfortable going. So that might be staying up onto your hands or coming down towards your forearms with me. You might even be able to bring your chest all the way over the front heel, going as far as feels right for you, listening to your body with each pose. Inhale, rise up. Let's take that back foot around to the front. Pivot, twist, elbow to inner thigh, looking over the back shoulder. Good. Exhale, bring it in. Going a reverse direction, we're circling through the ankle here. As you open up the hip, open up the glute. And then maybe bring the foot to the elbow crease as you rock your baby. Good. Release into fire log. Foot to knee, knee to foot. Hinge your body forward as far as feels right. Good. Allow each breath to transport you a little bit further, and then maybe bring the arms down, either reaching them to the front edge of the mat or folding them over top of your left calf. Inhale, rise up. Let's bring the feet a little bit wide along the outer edges of the mat. Bring the hands around beside you and rock the hips side to side. Good. Trying to bring the knees, the calves, the thighs all the way down to the floor, both inner and outer. Good. After this next one, readjust. Fingertips towards hips. Slide forward and then slide back. Good. Slide forward and then slide back. Checking in with the knees, with the ankles, and checking in with the hips as well. We're going to come into Malasana. So walk your hands all the way in front of the toes and then hinge side to side. Now this might be hips over knees if that feels better for you. Or hips below knees, if that's all right. Good, let's settle into the middle. Bringing both feet down towards the floor. Pressing hand to hand into a warrior pose. Now knees are pressed against the backs of the arms, and the backs of the arms are pressed against the knees. Great pose for digestion, binding those internal organs. And then as we release into our forward fold, we're going to bring the hands down to the floor, open along the backs of the knees, and shift side to side, bending one knee at a time. Good, noticing how that stretch lengthens and extends along different areas within the body. Awesome. Hold into the center. Take the right hand to the floor, left hand to the hip, pivot, look up towards the shoulder. Now bend the right knee, maybe extend the left hand all the way to the sky, and try to open along the chest line. I could also bring the hand around the back to stretch into the front shoulder. I'd feel that stretch along the left back of thigh. Both hands down to the floor. Let's step the right leg back, coming into low lunge, hinging forward and back again. Good, checking in with the knee as well as the back hip crease. We're going to keep the right hand down to the floor, left hand to the inner thigh. Push the thigh away, rolling a little bit towards the outer blade of the foot. I'd feel that stretch along the outer edge of the hip into the glutes. And then slowly bring yourself back in through center, maybe coming down to the forearms into your lizard lunge. Keep length along the back leg, kind of pushing the heel to the back edge of the room. Open up along the back hip. And then, of course, feeling that stretch along the front. Good, coming back, step into plank, rock forward, drop down into chaturanga. Inhale, lift into cobra or up dog. Exhale, push, press, lift, come into downward facing dog and pedal through the knees. Now slowly walk those feet all the way to the front edge of the mat, coming back into your forward fold. Inhale, flat along the back, your Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana, your forward fold. Reach the hands to opposite elbows, rock your elbows side to side, opening up along the shoulder line into the middle back. Release the hands back down to the floor. Open the feet along the outer edges of the mat, left hand to the mat, right hand to the sky, bend the left knee, open, open, open along the chest line, reach from fingertips to floor. Sweep the right arm around the back, try to reach for the left thigh. Open along the top right shoulder. And then slowly bring that right hand back down to the floor alongside the left as you step the left foot back into your low lunge. Rock forward and back. Checking in with the ankle, the hip, the knee, all of those hinge points. Left hand stays to the floor, right hand to inner thigh. Pivot just a little bit along that front. Good, maybe rolling towards the ankle. And then come back forward, walk the hands in front of the toes. Maybe staying up onto your hands or dropping all the way down to your forearms into your lizard lunge. Now, option here as well, you can bring the back knee down towards the floor if that feels better for you. But if you had it up on the other side, let's keep it up here. Stepping back into plank, let's vinyasa through again. Exhale into chaturanga. Inhale, lift into cobra or up dog. Exhale, push, press, and lift into downward facing dog and walk your dog. Let's take the left leg all the way up to the sky into your three-legged dog. Reach, 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 reach. And then let's fold, heel towards hip, open along the hip. Let's do a few circles into the hip, just like we did in all fours. Now taking it up a level in downward facing dog. Option, you can stay here or flip your dog over into wild thing. Now as you release from wild thing, take a seat, reach towards your left leg, fingertips all the way to toes or maybe just shin or thigh. Good, breathe as you release the chest down towards that bottom extended leg. And then twist, pivot, elbow to thigh, looking over the back shoulder, getting a nice twist along the mid-back. We're going to pivot back to the front, come back into plank, hands along the front edge of the mat, flip the foot over, exhale down into Chaturanga Dandasana, inhale, lift into Cobra or Up Dog, exhale, push, press, lift, downward facing dog. Good, let's do that same sequence on the right leg all the way up to the sky. Fold, heel towards hip, circle through the hip. Good, and then maybe come into wild thing. Extending up and over, reach, reach, reach. One more breath, and then slowly bring yourself into that forward stretch. Go ahead, reaching out towards the toes, lower your chest down as far as feels good for you. Go ahead, pivot opposite elbow to knee, looking over the back shoulder. Feel that stretch along the mid-back into the shoulders and chest. And we're going to pivot back into our plank. Sweep the arms around to the front. Pivot the feet back. Exhale down to your mat. Inhale, rise into Cobra or Up Dog. Exhale, push, press, lift, downward facing dog. And let's walk that dog. Good. Slowly walk the dog all the way to the front. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Now let's slowly come to standing. Arch the back all the way up to the sky. Reach the hands. Light backward bend. Light squeeze into the glutes. Light pressure into the core. Tongue to roof of mouth. Bring your hands down to your heart. Standing strong and tall in Tadasana. Take a moment to reset, to refocus, and check in with your intention. We're going to go into some balance poses. We're going to sweep the right leg up from the floor, lift the knee up towards the hip line or maybe even above. And now we're going to press that foot back towards the back of the room, extend the leg, extend the arms, and fly into stork position. Go ahead, lift that back heel up as high as feels right for you. Look along the front edge of the mat. Try to find something on the floor to focus on. We're going to pivot into half moon. Open, open, open. Go ahead, lift that back heel. Maybe look up towards the top hand. Lengthen extension from floor. Go ahead, now coming into standing split. Hinge your body forward as you lift that back leg up as high as you can. Option here. Left hand reaches back to grab the right foot, coming into fallen dancer pose. As you release, tuck the right foot behind the left. Hold that forward fold here, feeling the stretch along the back right hamstring and glute. Slowly rise up bone by bone. Inhale, extend the arms all the way up to the sky, and let's come into crescent moon, reaching out towards the left side of your mat. Good. Feel that stretch along the outer edge of the hip into the thigh. Inhale, back up, unwind the legs, and let's do that same sequence on the other side. Inhale, lift, light backward bend. Exhale, fold the hands into the heart. And let's lift the left knee up towards the hip line, maybe towards the belly button or chest. As you sweep the leg back, we're going to reach the arms out to the sides, coming into stork. Slowly pivot, right hand to the mat, left hand up to the sky. Open the hip, adjust as necessary. You're going to find maybe one side is better at this than the other, right? Good. Find your balance, find your stability, find your focal point. And then slowly bring the right and left hand down together as you lift the left leg up to the sky, coming into standing split. Fold the left knee behind the right. And slowly try to reach that right hand back towards the left, coming into fallen dancer. Good. Into that cross leg forward fold. Feel that stretch along the backs of the legs, into the glutes. Slowly articulate bone by bone up. Reach the hands up towards the sky, and let's come into crescent moon, leaning out all the way to the right side of your mat. Inhale, back up through center. Uncross the legs. Shake it out. Good. Let's inhale up. Light to moderate backward bend. Good. Maybe going a little bit further each time you bend back. Exhale, sweep the arms out to the sides. Let's bring the right hand to the left heel. Good. This is a good opportunity to be close to a wall, y'all. These balance poses are really challenging but amazing at the same time. This is our standing pigeon pose. Now, option, bring hands to the mat. Really great opening into that top outer hip. You could also take this opportunity to pause and go into your flying pigeon, but we'll save that for another class. Slowly articulate, bring it all the way up. Let's grab that big toe. Try to find your balance and stability. Right hand up, left hand to thigh, calf, or toes. Extend the leg out, hand to big toe pose. Maybe opening the leg out to the side. Good. Fold the leg back in. Let's bring it to the floor. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up to the sky. Light to moderate backward bend. Exhale, come back in through center. Let's do the same on the right. Lift the leg up, cross ankle over knee, sit down into your standing pigeon pose. Slowly release hands down towards the floor if that's within your reach. Obviously, this is not my strong side, and you'll see just what I mean when we get to the standing poses. Good. Slowly lift up. As you do, really ground into that bottom foot. Reach the arm up to the sky. Extend that leg all the way out into your hand to big toe pose. Good. As you release, inhale, arms up to the sky. Exhale, hands back down to the heart. Check in with your intention. Check in with your body, how you're feeling. And check in with your breath, the qualities of each breath, the inhale, the exhale, the coolness of the air as you breathe in, the warmth of the air as you breathe out. Bring the feet out to the outer edges of the mat. Slowly sink down all the way back into Malasana. Good. Hold it here. Open along the hips, into the glutes and lower back. Let's take the right hand down to the floor, left hand up to the sky. Open, open, open. Look up towards those fingertips. Maybe reach the arm around the back. Good. And maybe go for the bind, reaching the hands around. Let's do the same on the other side. As you pivot back center, left hand to the floor, right hand to the sky. Pivot, opening along the chest. Reach the hand around. Trying to find the other hand as you reach. Open along the chest and shoulders. Bringing it back to the front, you're going to walk the hands behind the hips, fingertips facing forward, hips down, or lift them up into reverse tabletop with me. Open along the chest, expand along the collarbone, bridge the hips up towards the sky, drive through the heels, flex through the hamstrings and glutes, and then slowly bring it down all the way to the floor. Let's come into seated pigeon pose here. Cradling the top right leg, left knee bent to your level, to your edge. Extend the left leg, bring the right foot to the inner thigh. And let's go into that reach up and over. Go ahead, so a little side stretch. Reaching the right hand over to the left leg. Left hand can be on the right thigh or reaching out towards your toes. Inhale back up. Let's bring the bottoms of the feet together into your Baddha Konasana, your bound angle pose. Hands around the feet, knees drop down to the floor. Lift the crown of the head up tall to the sky, lengthen through the spine. Option light backward bend, letting the head lean back as you open along the chest and shoulders. Fold the right knee in, bring the left foot on top. Go ahead, just feel that stretch along the outer thigh and glute into your seated pigeon pose. Extend the right leg, bring the left foot to the inner thigh. Lean up and over, reaching top hand, maybe bottom hand as well, towards your toes. Go ahead, slowly rise up. Let's come into cobbler's pose, more of a diamond. Reach the hands under the calves, towards the toes. Bow your body forward, but as you bow forward, kind of pull the chest up, feeling the stretch across the shoulder line in the upper and middle back. Go ahead, tuck your belly button back towards your spine, elongate into the lower back. And then grab a hold of the toes, the calves, lean back. Let's come into V-sit, maybe staying here, maybe extending the legs. So find your balance on your sits bones first. Extend the legs as wide as feels possible for you. Extend along the backs of the legs. Good. Now, this is a big balancing pose where you're balancing the legs against the arm strength. Coming into seated, hand to heart, hand to belly. Breathe into the chest and abdomen. As you breathe here, I'll leave you with this quote from Walt Whitman. Always keep your face to the sunshine, and the shadows will fall behind you. Slowly bring yourself back to the mat. Extend the arms all the way up to the sky. Interlace the fingers, reach up and back. Exhale, reach the arms around to the front, stretch across the shoulders into the back, maybe add a little bit of movement. And then unlace the fingers, open up elbow to elbow, shoulder to shoulder. Reach the arms out nice and wide from one side of the room to the other, and then sweep them in, giving yourself a well-deserved hug. Thank you all so much for joining me today. Namaste. Have an amazing rest of your day, y'all. Take care, be well, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Now for more, please like and subscribe to let me know you want more videos like this one. Thank you for watching.